Folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on another snowflake, but this time we're going to use the large blank. Now this blank, instead of being the small 3 something that the other one is, this one is 6 inches, so it's pretty good sized. 6 inches. Oh, my hand's right over the 6 inches. So we can use much bigger beads and a lot more. So let's turn down and I'll show you what I've got. Got the large blank, like I said, and then I have a Jessie James bead strand from last year called Elf. I'm going to use part of that. I have some green crystals. I have, and these are actually from last year's Bargain Bead Box Christmas one. So we've got some green, some red English cut, and some little red bicones. I need these little red bicones because we need something to go down into the base down here. Though there is a few little white bicones on our elf strand. So let's dump these beads out, or at least some of them. I also have a thing of daisy spacers. So we'll cut this strand loose. I'm going to keep this tag and just in case I don't use all my beads here for this. And then we're going to just dump all of these off of here. Now, because I don't have 6 of each of these beads, this is not going to be a, not all the bars will be exactly alike. So I'm going to take these 2 out because they're large holes and I don't want to use large hole beads on this. So we'll put those aside. And we'll have to decide here now what we're going to do with these. I'm going to put this white one in the middle of the top strand. So that would be this one. And these green ones will go down on these bars down here. Now, because I'll need something else large here and here, I'm thinking, oh, I thought I had 2 big white rondelles, but I don't. But we'll see what else we've got, because I have lots and lots of beads up above my head from various Jessie James packages or bead strands, so we'll just see which one we want to use in a bit. But right now we're just going to start by, we're going to want to use either these little white bicones or these little red bicones for our base down at the bottom. And it's actually sort of a pity that they didn't get, that I don't have 3 of the white bicones, because I could go off, you know, one and then one white, one red, one white, red. But I still could do a red-white pattern if I wanted to, by simply going like white up here, and then down here, and then the reds here and here. Now see how these are coming together in the middle there? Not quite meeting, but pretty close. So let's take 2 of our reds off, our 2 reds off, and we have decided that the white is going to be at the top and at the bottom with the 2 reds. Now we've already decided that this white one is going to be on the in the middle of this. So we need to build to that spot. So what we want to start with, I'm going to get a little this little tiny crystal here, drop it down onto there. And then I'm going to try, I can't because this white one is the only one this way, but I'm going to sort of try to build this one and this one the same. So we've got this one on in here, then this little guy, and then I'm going to go with this green here, and then maybe this crystal spacer, and now this is going to have to go on pretty soon because we want it to be in the middle. Come here, you. Go through. Yeah, that's got to go on next. So we want to decide on what we want to do as a spacer. I think I'm going to open my box of spacers right here. Set this down. Open this guy up. Come on, you. We'll drop a few out. We're going to use one of these, I think. Oop. And then our big guy. Though frankly, we wouldn't have needed to put a spacer in there because it's got the silvers on both sides, but I did so. Now remember, you got to leave about this much space, about a finger's width, to roll your line down. So now we got to decide what else we want to put on this side. And I'm thinking we want something white, but I don't know that I have anything more white. Unless I make this bar entirely different from the other bars, which I could do. I could just take this and now I don't want to use this though, because that has to be on the other side over here. So now the question is, what am I going to put at the very top here? And since I don't have any other red, I'm going to use, excuse me, I'm going to see if I like the looks of, oh, this one's broken. Well, we have to get rid of that. We don't want no broken beads. So we'll put this. We'll use one of their bead caps right here though. And then the red one here. If I can find its hole, there it is. And that's plenty far enough up there. So this one is ready to turn. So I'm going to get my round nose pliers out, which, as you all know, I don't use that often. And we are going to turn this baby. Okay. Now we want to go this way. And it looks like I could have used one more small bead on here, because it's a touch loose here. See how I've got a little bit of a head up here? So I'm going to try and see if I can't wrap this around a little bit more like you would a split ring. Now we'll try and bend it back down a little bit again. Be careful, because if you're not careful, you'll bust your top bead. Okay, still a little loose, but it's not too bad. I think it'll be all right. So now we have to decide what we're going to do for some of the other bars. So I know we want to use this guy, in these 2 bars down here. So we're going to start with our little red bicone. Oops. Oh, yeah, that's the right one. And I was trying to see if we had any more little silver of the crystal spacers other than the one that's for the bottom one. And I'm not seeing any. I don't think I have any up here. No, but I do have some pearls up here, which I will bring down for white, since we don't have a lot of white in this strand, and we used the other 2 pearls up here. So there's my pearls. So those will make a nice addition, the pearls. But let's think about what else we want to do here. Not finding any, so we'll just use some small daisy spacers. But I did find another red boho bead for the middle down here. And I did get a few more big red beads here. So let's put a few of these out. And we will, actually, you know what? I'm going to take this off, and we are going to do this bottom one here. So we'll do the opposite one of this one. We'll start with the little white and the little crystal spacer. Then we have to decide what we're going to next. And I think that because this one's going to be more red, I'm going to put these in one of the other strands. But I'm thinking I'll get some green out. And we will put one of these green here next. Then I'm going to do this red spacer again like we did up above. And in a way, we're sort of going to make this the same. I'm going to put some pearls on now. These are different pearls than those ones, but still a pearl. And then we'll put one of the bigger spacers and the red. One of the big spacers, the white, red spacer, green one, and now we have more, but we need to decide what we're going to put up here, and maybe we'll just do what we just did on the other side and put one of these bead caps here over the green, and then get the red like this one. So it'll be similar to this one, but not exactly the same. We're going to have changed the red, the white bead for the red. The pearls are slightly different, and we got dark green beads instead of light green beads for our thing, for our ending. So there we go. We'll have these 2 done as soon as we twist this one. Now I do have this one twisting a little better. It went over the side like I wanted it to. Now we'll have to bend this over. We can get it to bend over. There we go. And there is 2 bars done. Now the second ones, well, the other 4, what did I do with the other little red one? It's around somewhere. If it's not, then we'll find one. the bottom two are going to have these two here, and I didn't ever find what I wanted for up here. So we'll have to look around a bit more. I know I have all kinds of boho beads. I just have to decide which one, if I can find green ones, red ones, or white ones, which I probably can. So let's, since we don't have them though yet, let's start with these. So we'll go with our little red guy, our spacer. See how that one is down some, but that's all right. I can see if I can twist it a little bit more, but I don't think I'll be able to much because these wires are very, very tough. I think they're made out of the same wire that they make memory wire bracelets from. I just knocked those two off because I wanted to try and bend this a little bit more. If anything, oh, I seem to be racking up my circle, so that's not good. Well, it is a little tighter. It's not falling down quite so much down up there, but I can probably still get just a touch tighter. There we go. So there's top and bottom. Okay, so we have the little red one, and I think this time I'm going to put a pearl on right here. To hold that sort of. And then we've got to decide what comes next. So we have two of these, but these need to be with some big beads, like this, either the green one and the, that's a thought. Put the green and red like so, and that could go on two of the bars, while these go on the other two. I like that, so I think that's what we'll do. But then I have to decide what spacers to, oh, here's a couple of big daisy spacers, those would work. So, what bead is next though? Wait. Well, let's put on this big daisy spacer and the green and the crystal spacer and the red. Let's see how much more we have to put on. So we do have two more big bait daisy spacers. That's good. That way it can go right here too. Like so. Then I think this green elongated one will be next. That's cool looking. So then we have to have, let's see, what do we want next? Another pearl maybe? A pearl would be good, I think. So let's put this on, and then a pearl. And we still have a little space up here though. So what do we want to put up there? I think maybe one of these, but that I still think it's not going to be the top of the branch though. Maybe what we should do is put something more down here so this raises up some. And I think that might be best. So let's pull this stuff off here. And I think we'll pull the pearl off too. And we're going to put one of these green beads here on, and then a spacer and a pearl. Now we'll put this back on as I have it here, and we'll see what room, how much room we have up at the top again. And it may be just enough space for that red bead that I pulled off. And that might be not enough. There might be not enough space for that red bead now because, nope, not enough space. So now we have to decide if we really want to leave it all this way, because it will be this way. Actually, you know what we could do? Let's put one of these little bicones on the bottom. Okay, I have gone and got a new box of red beads. We have quite a few red drooks in here in 2 different sizes, as well as some little faceted red beads as well. So I think I'll drop some of the drooks out here. The small and the large. These are 4s, or are they 6s? They're 6s. These are 8s. So, yeah, maybe. These I know are 8s. Those, I would have to measure those. I think they may be 4s, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so we've got some drooks here. And I'm thinking that let's see if this little red drook would be better here on the end. It's not going to, it's going to be too much still. So, even though I really like this bead, it's going to come off. One of these will go on. And we may have just enough to turn it. But I'm going to change the order again. Oh, I'm so indecisive. But I've decided we have too much green down here, so we'll put this pearl back on. Bing. And then we'll put the spacer. And I'm going to put one of the large red drooks on. And then I'll probably decide I have too much red down here, huh? Well, we'll see. Go back to this one. There we go. We like this one. So we'll just turn this one now, and we'll have 3 of our bars finished. Okay, got that turned. Now we will take hold here and see if we can't get it to bend over some. There we go. Give this a teeny bit more of a twist. And that bar is done. Now these 2 bars are different, but I'm thinking I'm going to try and make these other bars the same. So we were going to make this one here will be the same over here. So let's feed these beads on the same way with the small bicone. Come on, bicone, go on there. Little spacer. Pearl. Bigger spacer. Red rook. Big cap. Green. Crystal spacer. Red. Big daisy. Green. Big spacer. And the pearl. And now we have the same as the other side. So we will twist this one up. Go. Oh, that one needs a little more twist, though I don't want to push this down too far and break it. So there's those two sides. Now we have to decide how we want to do these two. Now it looks like I need to get some more white because we don't have any white left here. But I do have red, green, and our green bohos. I also have some more other green beads if we want to add those. But of course our first one has got to be our little bicone and our tiny spacer. So let's go find some more white beads and I'll be right back. So I just went and got a few white pearls. So let's now, I think we're going to go with the green. Yeah, that'll work. And then I think we'll go with this English cut red. What, baby? Oh, I saw it for just a second. There we go. That looks like about all we're going to fit onto this side, so let's wind this one up. Oops, I didn't want that daisy spacer on here since we were ending with a bead. So, here we go. And now we're going to do the other side exactly the same way with a tiny, oops, that's right, we ran out of them. I lost one of them here somewhere. So I need to get a new little bicone. Down on here she goes. And then a small spacer. And then we are doing green. English cut. We need one of the English cuts. There we go. Spacer. Oh. Pearl. Spacer. Green boho. Now, like I mentioned before, if you don't want to put this spacer in between the bohos, you don't need to, because let's face it, well, you don't need to put any spacer in if you don't want to. The beads are your pattern. But there is silver on either side, caps on either side of the bohos, so and a small. So there's our last leg done. Now we'll spin this one up. Oh, come, don't stop fighting with me. Oop. Okay. So there's our snowflake. Put the rest of the goodies away because we're not going to need them. But what we are going to do is we're going to put get some 18 gauge wire out, and we're going to make a hook for this baby. And if we want to, we could put a dangle on the end. So, and you can hang this, you know, whichever way you want, either from the red top or from the white. I will probably do the red just because I like it. I mean, with the white at top, red in the bottom. And so we need to get that wire so we can make our hook. And then we have to decide if we want to make us a little dangle as well, because obviously we can make a dangle if we want to put a dangle down here. Now, I know a lot of people hang these with ribbon. You can do that. Just get a hunk of ribbon and twist it through your end here and just tie a knot in your ribbon. I personally like to make them a hook. So I will get some 18 gauge wire out and we'll make our hook. Appear to not have an open 18 gauge, but I do have this hunk of 14. 14 is very strong. It's definitely going to give us what we need. But we only need 3 inches, so we can cut 2 inches of this off. Sometimes I have scraps around, but I don't see any of the 18 that's big enough right now. So we will just cut this hunk off. And then what we need to do is we want to take our bell making pliers. I use the smaller of the 2 double ones, and I'm just going to, excuse me, I hate that when they slip off like that. Turn a loop here, And that's actually a small loop. That's our decorative loop. I should have actually done my big loop first. See, when I twist this around, it doesn't matter. So we'll just make a big loop down on the other side. Okay. Then I'm going to break the neck of the big loop. Now this is going to be a really strong hook. You'll have no problem hanging your piece from it. Now we need our round wire mandrel. There it is. And we're going to take and go to either like the third or the fourth. And just, well, that's the fourth. Bend her around in a loop like so. And then we're going to take our flat nose pliers. Normally I do this by hand, but because this is such heavy wire, I'm going to do it with my pliers. And what I'm going to do is go up about so far and bend it. So now it's a hook. But as you can see, I need it to be rounded a bit more because it's not a regular hook anymore. So we'll just push it down. And there we go. There's our hook. Now you can work harden this. Since I used 18 gauge, we don't really need to. It's pretty stiff. But we just open our loop up like we would any loop. And put our beads on there and close it back up. Oh, you can't slide up through the slot there. There we go. And there is our very large snowflake with a hook. Now if you wanted, I sometimes put a charm down here on the bottom or some kind of a dangle. You can do that if you want, or if you don't want, you don't have to put anything down here. But I sometimes like put another little snowflake charm or a regular little dangle. You can put dangles off the two bars here as well. Well, you could put them here too because you've got enough space between these with this big one. Just put a small dangle anywhere, like a. So there is our big snowflake. And this is the 6-inch. Is that what size this is? Yep, 6 inches wide, it says. So there's our big snowflake. So there we go. There's one big, pretty red, white, and green snowflake. Perfect for our Christmas. You know, I think I have something I want to hang down here. Let's see if I can find it. My battery died, so you didn't see me what I was doing, but I put this little Egyptian drop, crystal drop, on the bottom, and it'll throw rainbows like nobody's business. So this will make it more pretty when we hang it up. So. Okie dokie, there she is, all complete with the the added addition of the Egyptian crystal drop I put on the bottom. That'll make some beautiful rainbows. So I hope you enjoyed making this with me. Isn't it been pretty? This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we've been making a 6-inch snowflake using beads from my stash as well as our Jesse James Bead Mix Elf. Hope you enjoyed making this with me. We'll see you later. And there it is. Isn't that gorgeous? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.